Look, I love Sacramento, but I don't never hear nobody talking about any California teams as it comes to when it comes to the collegiate football. I don't never hear about that shit.
Yes. All right, all right, all right. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Thursday out there to everybody.
Oh shit! I know why that's
Hey,
doing
hey, hey.
that.
Thanks for all you guys checking in. What's going on, my comedy? What's up, Blair? It's good to see you again. Thanks for coming on in. Hey, Janessa. You early tonight. Got you in there on good time. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition and another episode of Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. I am your host, Troy Skinner. Next to me is my co-host.
Antonio Dean.
Yes, the man with the plan. And we are here tonight to talk to you guys about what's going on in pop culture and current events. And it seems like this week was a little flat, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't hear no crazy shit jumping off.
Yeah, it wasn't too much madness happening, but you know there were some things that we can definitely talk about. And we have a list. Excuse me 1 second.
List is incoming. We're
The
now
list is
live on
incoming.
YouTube.
The list is incoming.
Where's that? Is that the sheet?
Yes, sir. There we go.
Run
He's
it,
gonna
run it
call
down.
off.
Alrighty, so tonight, if our viewers would like to call in, are we doing call-ins or are we just doing Instagram Live?
Play it by ear. Instagram
Play it by
Live
ear.
mostly.
Instagram Live mostly won't be calling in, so I won't shout the number out unless people just want to hear my voice, in which case I will. That'll be 404-997-2188. 404-997-2188. However, please just join the Instagram Live. You can find us on Instagram at CMCT_show. The Facebook page is CMCT Show. Our YouTube channel is CMCT_show. You can also find us on Twitter at CMCT_show. The email, cmctshow@gmail.com. Our TikTok, CMCT_show. And lastly, the Linktree. Go to the Linktree website. And of course, we're on there at CMCT Show. His Instagram, DARKAN 2000. His Twitter is also DARKANENT. And my Instagram is just at @the_dosage. Does that do it up?
I think
Sure.
so. I think so. It's always a lot, but we have to go through it in order to make sure we have everybody covered in regards to the different platforms that you can pay attention to us on and join in on in regards to supporting our show. So this is episode
14.
14 episodes deep, man. Congratulations. We're definitely going to have a time when we celebrate.
Yeah, we'll have a celebration with party
We want to do
hats
it on the
and-
20th? The 20th show?
20th show? Yeah, sure.
We'll be doing it on the 20th show.
So what is that?
Come
3
on in,
weeks? That's about 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
3 weeks.
about 3 weeks. Don't forget, next week we will be doing on Tuesday night a martial art episode.
Oh, yeah, I
basically
forgot
dealing with
about
self-defense. So we won't be in here at our normal location. We will be in a different location that will be giving us a different environment in order to be able to give you a full spectrum of the martial arts and self-defense that we're going to be going over. And primarily, if you're a person who has no experience with self-defense or with martial arts, we really want you guys
to tune in, and you get the opportunity just to learn some basics that'll help you protect yourself in pretty common situations out in public.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really what I want more than anything. I'm hearing you doing the brush. That's
Is it in the mic? My bad.
No, that's all good. I was like, what is that sound? He's like, shh, shh. Hey, so let's give some shouts out to Antonio. If you're watching the show and you've been watching this beard grow, and it's getting really, really silky. I find myself throughout the show when I'm watching him, I'm supposed to be looking in his eyes, and I drift down to the bottom part of that beard because it's getting really, really silky.
I appreciate that.
See, I can't grow a beard like that. I mean, people always tell me you can. You just got to use beard oil and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, it's not in my family. It's like we inherited like hairlessness,
They
and
got
bad knees, man.
they got beard. What is it? Lace fronts for the.
I wouldn't even go that far,
Get
bro.
your patch on.
Hey, you know what? As an actor, if I get a role and they give that to me, I'll take it. Even look like the hair, cause Samuel Jackson, man, he's been bald for so many years. When you watch him in these movies, they give him some real good hair lace fronts and some beard lace fronts. So I would
Steve Harvey.
Well, that's another.
You want
that's
to talk about
him and LeBron. LeBron
that was shocking.
Yeah,
that was painful.
Oh yeah, the old footage.
Because Steve Harvey's hairline was like the standard for niggas,
Thank
man.
you, Janessa. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To find out that it was fake all them years and you could have just peeled that shit off the stage, it was like, man, goddamn it.
Before it happened, I had a well-known acting buddy who I was talking to. He was like, well, you know Steve Harvey's, that hair is fake. I was like, fake? Like, you know.
The Steve Harvey hairline was a staple in the black community for so many years.
Hey man, Steve Harvey's paid, so he can do whatever the hell he want, I guess. As long as it, like I always tell people, man, you can do whatever you want as long as it ain't with women and with kids and animals. Just
straight up,
you know. All right, so we got a lot to talk about, even though there wasn't a lot happening today or this week in the news. Maybe something will pop off tonight in between here and Friday morning, and then all of a sudden we'll be like, man, we could have talked about that on the show. Mm-hmm. But there is some things we do want to go over. Maybe a lot of this you guys haven't heard about that's going on in the news. And also, too, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube, because we want to eventually move over to that platform really strong so we can get our viewership up and we can get our following up. Hello to you, Alex Hampton. The countdown is happening. We're not going to be talking about Black Panther tonight, but, you know, I was telling my brother's never watched the full movie of the Black Panther movie. And
I haven't seen it either.
Okay, so look, we're going to have to make that happen because, listen, you may not see the second, but the first one, there was music that my brother had never heard. He never heard the Weeknd song, and he never heard the Kendrick Lamar stuff. And he was rocking to it today in the car. And I was like, you never heard this before? He's like, no. I was like, this from Black Panther soundtrack. But anyway, Alex, that's a shout out to you.
We'll see. I probably won't watch it. I don't watch movies, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to start off with? You want to start off with the decriminalization thing?
Sure. Why not?
All right, so if you don't already know, Biden has pardoned people in regards to marijuana charges. So there has been a decriminalization happening in regards to all of the states, and not just how it's been in specific states where marijuana is legal in certain states. It's been happening to where there has been a movement, and it's been in progress for a while. I mean, I remember when it happened in, I think it was Arizona and Los Angeles and California, where it was decriminalized. And Oregon,
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Virginia was one of the first ones as well, which is pretty surprising. Mm-hmm. I know from personal experience, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't know, but at the same time, I always felt it was a severe injustice to people, to where you have some states where it's legal, and then you forget it's in your car and you ride through another state, you get pulled over by a state trooper, and now you have these charges where you may end up in prison with jail time because of something that's legal in another state.
Correct.
I always thought that was so different and so just jacked up, man. And so now I guess it's going to be decriminalized, and Joe Biden, if he's done anything decent, this is to me one of the decent things that he's done to push that decriminalization of that, so that way people are no longer going to have those charges on their records. And I don't know what a lot of them are going to do, because some of them, were in there already for a long time, and their lives are pretty much.
So, and in even on a larger scale of that spectrum, the biggest issue to me is how difficult it's going to be for a lot of us to get into that industry, because we by far and large, man, the licensure and all of that different shit. Just the process to get into that and open up your own dispensary is definitely complex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be difficult for a lot of us to even join in on that and take advantage of it. Very ironic considering the circumstances, how many of us have been locked up for so long over marijuana.
Yeah. I mean, when the crack epidemic happened and there was a lot of people being, like, black homes were devastated because people were being thrown systematically in prison. And I know that even Kamala Harris was a major part of that movement, along with the Clintons. The Clintons had prison systems that they actually owned and stuff. So
Correct.
it's just crazy that we don't see the injustice in how a lot of this stuff is happening. If you're watching and you have something to talk about in regards to what we're talking about, you're definitely welcome to chime in. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. What are you talking about?
Oh, the camera probably is flipped.
Yeah, the camera's flipped. So it may look like it's my left, but this is my right. Trust me, I'm right-handed. But I am ambidextrous. I've trained myself to become ambidextrous. So you can see in this hand, oh, it still looks left. Okay, wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
For that reason, I would also like to call out that my earring is definitely in my left ear and not in my right ear.
Wow, that's old school.
That's what I am.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember back in the day that used to be a thing for
My dad was serious about that shit.
So if you have any comments in regards to the decriminalization of marijuana, if you know somebody that's gotten in trouble, who is hoping that this would be something to change their life to where they won't have that charge against them, they'll get out of prison and or they'll have any charges removed against them, please chime in and let us know your thoughts about that. It's not your fault, you just didn't know better.
Dynamic. I'll make that calm.
Yeah.
It's not hella bright, is it?
What's that?
The backlights. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Close enough.
So, do you have anything more you want to add to that? Or?
Only thing I would say is just y'all make sure that, y'all look into that the opportunities that'll be coming up with marijuana being decriminalized at the federal level.
Biden's thing, because I pulled that up. So, just to give you some more information in regards to it, here, basically. Joe Biden, he pardons all federal offenses of simple marijuana possession in the first major steps towards decriminalization. So it's just the simple possession. And that was crazy in itself that people would get caught up in just, the simple decriminalization in itself, that in itself was really jacked. So I don't think that's going to show. So let's go back to that. All right. So basically what the news is saying is he's taking his first major steps towards decriminalizing marijuana, fulfilling a campaign pledge to erase prior federal possession convictions, and beginning the process of potentially loosening federal classification of the drug. Now, let me ask you a question, because this is confusing to me. How is it that if it's federal possession, federal, right, a federal offense, how can that be something that's simple? Because they say it's simple marijuana possession, but was simple marijuana possession a federal offense? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? I didn't know.
Depending on the state, because it was Schedule 3 narcotic or whatever the fuck. I forget what the different classifications are, but essentially it was one of the higher ones, and they're basically just dropping it down. I don't know if it's going all the way down to like level 1 or whatever the hell. They might talk about it on here.
Mm-hmm. There's another related article that says smoking weed is now more popular than smoking cigarettes. You think? Yeah, Schedule 1.
Yeah. So marijuana is illegal under federal law, even as individual states have moved toward legal use for recreational and medical purposes. Under the 1970 Controlled Substances Act, marijuana is listed on Schedule 1, meaning it has no currently accepted in medical use and a high potential for abuse. That's just at the federal level. Then the states can kind of decide, how that's handled locally. Let's see.
It says,
what are they changing it to?
That has left some users open to prosecution, even in places where marijuana use is legal.
Correct.
That's jacked up.
See, they don't say what they're dropping it to, but all in all, it says no one should be in jail because of marijuana. As president, I will decriminalize cannabis use and automatically expunge prior convictions, he said during the presidential campaign. Loosening federal rules on marijuana has gained steam in recent years as the drug is legalized in a growing number of states. In late 2020, the House passed a measure that would decriminalize marijuana at the federal level, though it wasn't taken up in the Republican-controlled Senate.
Yeah, well, bless you, brother. Bless you. Yeah. Anybody out there have anything to say about that or to add to that? Because I think that's something that affects a lot of people, man.
Invest in ACB, maybe.
ACB.
ACB, Aurora Cannabis, Tilray, Tilray. Those are just two of my favorites, but there are plenty that you should go and look at. Um, there are even marijuana penny stocks. Budbo is one of the first marijuana coins that it come out for cryptocurrency. BUDBO.
Is CBD still something that people are
Partaking in? Yeah, it's like Delta 8, Delta 9, some shit like that. I'm not a fan of that because it's more of a chemical, but I'm not gonna recommend that anybody go and become recreational. You know what I'm saying? If you're interested, man, utilize Google. But like I said, Aurora Cannabis, Tilray, go and do some research.
All right. Let's move on. You guys have got to leave Kanye West alone. I think if you leave Kanye West alone, he'll go away. I think the day that people stop talking about Kanye West, he'll evaporate like the Wicked Witch of the West. You know, I'm melting.
So you got to educate me. What happened with him this week?
Kanye West has a couple of strikes against him. The first strike that Kanye has going on is he is being sued by George Floyd's family. Mind you,
shit.
He gave money to their family when the George Floyd incident happened. So it says the mother of George Floyd's daughter announced that they are filing a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West.
Well, that's insane.
All right.
May I?
And it's over his recent statements. Okay. About George Floyd. Okay.
What were his recent statements?
I didn't know that he goes by Ye now.
Oh, because is that? I mean, a lot of people call him that.
Right. He pretty much is. Listen, and you know, like I said, I don't know if you had a chance to watch that Candace.
Not yet, but I will.
Her documentary. You know, I'm not going to talk about it because I know there's people who probably haven't seen it. You probably need to see it for yourself. But he's pretty much on the same page as her because she's always talking about the fentanyl. And that's pretty much the conservative Republican thought process of why he died. And it wasn't the knee on the neck. It was he died because it was fentanyl. His heart, you know, couldn't take the amount of stress that it was under because he was already on fentanyl and everything that happened made his heart, you know, which is trash. It's like anybody that knows anything about the human anatomy and what happens in violent situations, when you put a knee on someone's neck, you're cutting off the blood flow to the carotid artery. So anybody telling me otherwise, I'm going to look at them and laugh. And tell them, let me put my knee on your neck so you can see if it's true or not.
I would agree with that. So the backlash that Kanye is catching, just for clarification, is he said that Floyd's death was caused by fentanyl. They very obviously have an issue with that. The mother of George Floyd's daughter announced they are filing a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West over his recent statements about Floyd's death. The rapper, who goes by Ye, erroneously declared on a podcast that Floyd died from fentanyl, not as the result of police brutality. Kanye's comments are a repugnant attempt to discount George Floyd's life and to profit from his inhumane death, attorney Pat D. Dixon III said in a statement on Tuesday, adding that the goal was the lawsuit is to hold Mr. West accountable for his flagrant remarks. The lawsuit will go after West's business partners and associates as the comments caused harassment, misappropriation, defamation, and infliction of emotional distress. Gianna is the sole beneficiary of Floyd's estate. Is that his sister? Or?
No, that's the daughter.
Oh, the daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. The interests of the child are priority. George Floyd's daughter is being re-traumatized by Kanye West's comments, and he's creating an unsafe and unhealthy environment for her. Added attorney Nury Witherspoon. $250 million is a lot of fucking money for some statements, man. This is really insane.
Not including the money they already have made.
Come on.
Okay, so there it goes. I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put out. One of the things that his two roommates said was that they want a tall guy like me, and the day that he died. What?
And the day that he died, he
said a prayer for 8 minutes. I remember that. West said they hit Floyd with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. And that's kind of something that she said in the documentary. I can speak on that. And I was just like, come on, man. There were people on the scene who knew better and called out, even a nurse. There was a white nurse, female nurse, and there was a black male who trained jiu-jitsu who knew exactly what was going on, okay? And they still haven't recuperated psychologically from seeing a man die in front of them. George Floyd, for anybody who's watching, in my personal opinion, was a sacrifice. He was a sacrifice in regards to Saturnalia. Read up on that, okay? Floyd's cause of death was ruled as a homicide by a medical examiner. The autopsy report said that he died from cardiopulmonary arrest, complicating law enforcement's subdual, restraint, and neck compression. So, okay, listen. Y'all got to leave Kanye alone so he can go away. That's really all I got to say about that. I mean, now he's even in trouble. Like, how do you make people in the black community mad and at the same time make people in the Jewish community mad? At the same time, in 1 week. In 1 week.
So what it's saying here, Layla Muse said that people are comparing the lawsuit to the Sandy Hook lawsuit since the parents just won. I did read about that the other day.
Yes. Alex Jones got sued.
Yeah, I seen, and him having to apologize on the stand and all of that shit. Are these frivolous lawsuits?
I think it's controlled opposition.
Because it's just people can say whatever the fuck they want to say.
Yeah, I think it's controlled opposition, and it's so how convenient that all this stuff is going down, and they're using this stuff during this voting moment. Like, listen,
as usual.
Yeah.
What I say? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Right.
Yeah. So we can talk about that. Okay. So now let's get a little controversial because I know there's people out here who's going to totally disagree with us. I don't believe in voting. I don't vote. Okay? Hate me if you want. I don't vote. I'm not one of the people you're going to see on Instagram with a little sticker saying I voted.
With the wristbands and all of that shit.
I don't vote. And this goes way back. I went to Samuel J. Tilden High School. Mm-hmm. When going to school, you did learn something. Okay? And my school majored in history and law. I had the desire to be a lawyer because I had people in my family who were in the law profession, and so they inspired me to the point where I thought I was going to go and be a lawyer. And look what happened. I went a total different direction. But when I learned about collegiate votes and the whole voting process, none of it made sense to me. I mean, I understood it, but I was just like, this isn't common sense.
There's no actual way for any of us to verify that every single vote is, number one, a human, and number two, that all of the votes are actually real in general. Who is the actual checks and balancing system for managing people's votes?
Yeah, and like I said, in regards to when it came to the common sense process of, okay, you have popular votes, and then you have popular votes is pretty much the people's viewpoint of who they want to be a president. So when they said a president, the person who's running for office could win the popular votes, but lose in the college votes and still lose the presidency, the electoral college, it made no sense to me. I was like, so wait a minute. The electoral college is the one that decides who becomes president, but the people who are part of the electoral college can go in and they're supposed to be the ones to represent the people, that state, but they can go in and change their mind.
Correct.
I was like, yeah, no. I was like, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. That's that whole thing of, like I said, people are sometimes so smart that they can be stupid because it's like you're not paying attention to common sense. Like when I learned that when I was in the ninth grade, because let's see, 9th, 10th, 11th, yeah. When I was a freshman in high school when I learned that.
That's U.S. history is 8th and 9th grade usually.
And I was like, oh no. And that was the day that I never have voted. I have never. Well, that's not true. I may have voted once.
I've never voted. I don't care to vote.
I may have voted once. I think I did.
Yeah, I've had to register just to
because of the military,
like moving. Right? Well, no, just moving between different states and shit. To get an ID or whatever. But I'm not gonna vote. I don't care. I'm a military veteran.
So it's a contradiction when they say it's a lie. Pretty much when they say your vote counts. Your vote,
to me,
vote matters.
Because when you showed me a time that any of our votes, in an overwhelming fashion, have actually affected our status, and I'm speaking about the black community because I really don't care about any other community. When you show me where voting has actually done something to change the tide for us. Socially, politically, and financially, I'll start voting. I haven't seen it. Yeah. Not at the local level, any of that shit.
Well, yeah, it's not going to happen. I mean, I think it's beyond that at this point.
They say that we need representation in these different offices. None of that shit matters. Because once you are in those seats,
you can do whatever the hell you want to
do. We've held seats, man, and the whole and this is not me speaking down on the Obama administration or any of that shit, but even just him being in office, we thought, there were black people who thought reverse slavery was about to happen and we were gonna have white plantations and all of this kind of shit,
Well, white people are always thinking that, man.
Well, I'm saying black people, but that's what black people wanted.
Oh, I don't want that. I could care less.
They by far and large just thought that it was gonna. Things were going to change for the better in our favor.
Well, that's what he
just was because he's in the office.
He was preaching that. That was his whole thing.
If you know anything about the way
politicians
that law works here in the U.S., there was nothing that he could have done.
Right.
Realistically, nothing he could have done to actually change the tide for black people. He didn't have the power to. You know what I'm saying?
What about reparations? What do you think?
Reparations are not going to happen. Now, Patrice O'Neal, one of my favorite comedians and also a philosopher as deemed by his fans. One of the things that he used to say is that the closest thing that black people should get to reparations is get rid of income tax for us.
Okay. Like they do with the Native Americans?
If you're black, no income tax.
Okay.
Which, that's a conversation for another show, but us not having to pay income tax, no money really comes out of the government's pocket at that point, and we get the opportunity to actually realize the full fruits of our labor.
In current day.
It would make a huge difference for us financially.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say hypothetically speaking, something like that happens. Reparations kicks in. It's another dimension.
No income tax.
Well, I'm just saying, no actual reparations. Like
here's your paycheck.
Here's the money we promised. Here's everything we say we would give you, your ancestors, and we're giving it to you.
Okay.
Do you think the black community would screw it up?
What do you mean by screw it up?
Like they would be prodigal. They'd be very wasteful with what was given to them.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we would be. By far and large, I believe, very financially irresponsible.
Yeah, I've always said that.
For some time.
Yeah.
All of us, maybe not.
A very small.
A large mass of us?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now, the bigger issue outside of what we would do with reparations is those who would take those funds and go and create better communities, put more back into local education and or public education in our communities, what would stop something like Black Wall Street from happening all over again? Because every single time in the United States, if black people have attempted to create something for themselves, it has been destroyed.
Yeah.
By the government.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, because I think
that's a bigger issue than whatever black people would be doing with their reparations.
I don't think that the fight would be dismissed that we would have in us. I think we would do the damage to ourselves this time and not, you know what I mean, from the outside. So it was before, it was literally the outside. But I think now the damage would be from internal in regards to the Black Wall Street type of thing you're talking about happening. We do more damage to ourselves than, you know. I think they understand the psychosis of the black community and how to destroy us.
Of course.
Yeah.
What was that that documentary selling the Negro family or
Yeah, how to sell to the Negro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hate talking about that. But anyway, listen, Kanye West, y'all leave him alone. Leave him alone. Don't bother him. Let him go away. Stop being distracted by him. Stop allowing him to be the cause of your major entertainment. From what I was told, the Saints game is on tonight, so there's probably going to be people watching us and going back and forth.
Going in and out.
Yeah.
I don't watch football, so if you're watching football, enjoy it, have fun. Congrats.
We're here talking some good topics tonight, so make sure you stay in with us. Tell your friends, like, share, subscribe on our YouTube. Make sure you are adding us, and we are going to continue on. We got some more things we want to talk about. If you're just now checking in with us, we were talking about Kanye West. We are going to move on from Kanye West, and I think we want to talk about. Let's talk about the girlfriend, the girl that's. She's basically an OnlyFans star. Well, she was. She's in prison right now until her case comes up to where she goes to trial. But you have this woman who basically she killed her boyfriend. She stabbed him to death. This happened a while back. And more information comes out every day about what their relationship was like. And this is going to segue us into talking about toxic relationships. Right. Now, the problem with this is that, you know, it's an interracial relationship. And not that that's a problem, but the problem is how she's being pampered in this. And we've seen this before. We've seen this in white mothers that have killed their kids.
She's smearing the reputation of a gentleman who can't even defend his his own image.
Yeah. He was basically let's go to some of the information. All right. Basically, you have a guy named Christian Abuseli, who was a Nigerian immigrant that lived here in America, and he got in a relationship with a girl named Courtney Clinny. And they lived in Miami, and it got to a point where they had such a toxic relationship where she would beat on him. Apparently, he would scream at her. I don't know if he ever beat on her. She doesn't look like she was ever beat on. But one night she decided to take a knife and just stab him to death and said it. And now she's claiming it was self-defense. Let's go to one of the old articles here. And TMZ is so trashy, but they have the information sometimes that other people don't have because they get video. I don't know how they get the video sometimes.
People pay them and send them videos and shit, man. Yeah. Their network is humongous.
Yeah. And then look, she's even on another show talking about she OnlyFans model Courtney Taylor. I only date rich black guys, and she was in the clip 2 weeks before she stabbed her boyfriend to death. And it says the Instagram model covered in blood after her boyfriend stabbing death proudly talked about needing to be in control of her relationships and only dating rich black men just weeks before he was killed. Courtney Taylor went on the We in Miami podcast. We're told just 2 weeks before Christian Abuseli's death. A newly surfaced clip from the interview makes her taste in men pretty clear. Let me clarify, I only date rich black guys. And then they got, look at that photo, man, of her.
Damn. That's after the stabbing,
Yeah,
right?
she stabbed him.
That's insane.
Yeah, we can't show this on YouTube anyway, but he loved her. Yes. As the interview goes on, she reviews she doesn't like being controlled in her life, saying she never wants to be told what to do. So you can only imagine what that relationship was like. As we reported, the cops responded to a domestic violence incident Sunday. They found 27-year-old Christian with an apparent stab wound. It wasn't just one wound. Christian was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The footage obtained by TMZ shows Courtney handcuffed in her luxury apartment in Miami with her clothes covered in blood after the event. Dogs running around. Police have yet to announce Courtney as the woman in the video, but Lee Merritt, an attorney working with Christian's family, said she's the one. Local authorities have not arrested her. Now, when this happened, they didn't even
she was
arrest
out
her.
for a minute.
She was
Which is
out,
insane.
and she even went to Hawaii,
Yeah.
and they had to arrest her there and bring her back. So, my point on what I'm saying in regards to this is they don't give black women, and I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, okay, if white people get to do it, we get to do it too. No, you should be held accountable for anything that you do. Janessa said, can we see the pic? What happened with the OnlyFans person?
Yeah, it's a little bloody.
Yeah, you can look it up. He can
Just go ahead and Google it.
Yeah. But and then as more time went by, more information came out of her going at him in an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Their neighbors. I'd watch Pink Book Lessons, of course. Their neighbors had been already complaining about them for a while.
Yeah.
Their relationship.
Yeah, their relationship.
All of the ruckus and shit they had been keeping up in their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
Know?
Toxicity at its finest. We're not saying that because it was an interracial relationship, but because there's a lot of toxic relationships. Like a lot of people out there in toxic relationships where they're putting hands on each other, whether it's her putting her hands on him and him putting her hands on her, or them doing it together. If you're in that type of relationship, leave. And I know people always say, oh, it's easy to say to leave, but it is. It really is.
It is.
When you realize that you are worth something, because I think that's where it has to start. I don't know what's going on with this. When you realize that it's your well-being and your health is everything. But anyway, just recently, it's been coming out now, and TMZ is notorious for setting the precedent on which side they're on.
Of course.
They're pushing out as, they were like, yeah, this is damning evidence. This is, this proves, that she's, that she was in fear for her life. And when you watch the video, it don't look nothing like that. I was like, what are you guys saying? Where is this coming from?
There's no way for them to prove that.
Yeah, at all. And to me, it looked like she was just acting her ass off, which most,
in that situation,
yeah.
I'm sure she wants to be as free as she can be.
Yeah. So she can get back on OnlyFans and make some more money. Apparently she made some good money. That's why she was
especially
on shows
after
like
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It says, today's article says OnlyFans model Courtney Clinny cries out for help 2 days before the killing. New body cam video. So they also have her with a 911 call, basically talking about that she, stabbed her.
When did they get the video?
This came out on the 19th, so that was yesterday. And so they got the police cam. That's what this is.
Why would it take them so long to release this?
I know, right? Because they're changing the narrative to work for her. But it basically says OnlyFans model Courtney Clinny freaked out in her Miami apartment building and claimed her boyfriend attempted to attack her 2 days before she allegedly butchered him. This according to newly released police body cam footage. The dramatic videos were filmed April 1, 2022, after police responded to the swanky condo to investigate a domestic squabble between Courtney and Christian Abumseli. Yeah. Courtney was charged with Christian's murder after they got into another blowout fight 2 days later. I mean, they were just going back and forth. That's probably how their relationship was. And they had good sex afterwards, man.
She was an evil
woman.
Yeah,
Evil chick, man. And she says, you can't control me. He should have known better. In the body cam footage, Courtney is seen with the police and a building employee who explains Christian charged at Clinty in the lobby, and staff had to step in to prevent him from hurting her.
Where's that video at?
Right, yeah. We don't have that one, but we have the elevator where she's beating on him.
And he's just standing there.
He's just standing there.
He didn't do shit.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
He kept his calm.
So it's like,
cool.
yeah. Courtney frantically tells the cops she broke up with Christian, but he wouldn't leave her apartment. At one point, she becomes very upset and asks for a restraining order against him. Now, see, this where something is wrong with this.
Where's that paperwork at?
Right. And what we know about domestic disputes is anytime the cops are called, they have to take the man in.
Well, they have to take somebody to jail.
Yeah, and it's usually the man.
Yeah.
Okay, because she called them. It says, but police tell Courtney they can't do anything. See, that's the lie right there. That's the lie. Not even kick Christian out of her apartment unless she gets the stay away order through the court.
So I'm assuming that means he was on the lease. Is why they couldn't kick him out.
But they could have still took him in, because I know people who've been taken in when they're called in. That's when Courtney breaks down in tears, insisting she's the victim and scared to even walk her dog. Cops then search the building and Courtney's apartment, but they can't find Christian anywhere. Okay, so they did at least attempt to go and find him. As we reported, Courtney fled to Hawaii after Christian's slaying, but was arrested there in August. And she stabbed him in
April.
And she went to Hawaii, and it took them all the way to August to bring her ass back. And extradited back to Miami to stand trial for second-degree murder. Second degree? That's wild, man. Courtney claimed self-defense, pointing to Christian's alleged history of abusing her. Christian's family accused Courtney of being the aggressor and trying to rewrite history. It's very interesting, man.
I would love to know where all those documents are.
Yeah.
Proving her requesting a restraining order. I would love to see the paperwork of any of those complaints that she filed, apparently, about him having abused her for so long.
Janessa said, I found an NBC story saying that he asked for a restraining order days before his murder. And then
I can see that.
She said she planned it. I don't think she planned it. I think because maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out that the bitch was on some medication as well. Cause a lot of chicks are on medication.
Oh, she doing OnlyFans. She probably not.
Yeah.
She probably not having the most kosher lifestyle.
Because that elevator rant that she had, man, that told me a lot. She was in that elevator going at him. You know what I mean? I watched that elevator rant several times, and I said, man, I've seen this. I've seen guys go through this stuff before with some of these chicks. She's an unstable chick, man. She's unstable. And I don't know why these aren't loading. It doesn't make any sense.
Probably because they're pop-ups.
Yeah. But yeah, she's an unstable chick, man, and she was working on him. Like he's better than me because I could.
Talking about in that elevator?
Yeah. I wouldn't have that restraint. Like I don't believe in anybody putting hands on anybody.
Yeah, she was doing her best to actually damage, do some damage and harm him. Nah, for definitely.
Yeah, you're not putting your hands on me. So, y'all need to stop doing that and thinking that, oh, okay, I'll call the cops on you and getting these guys. Look, he was Nigerian, so, he I don't know. But there's brothers that get caught up too, man, and they be so in love. They be so in love.
In love
man.
with trouble, man.
Yeah, that that toxicity and that drama. They think that that's what's supposed to come with a healthy relationship. If you're not arguing, I've heard people say that. If we're not arguing, then that
it's
means
not a real relationship.
It's like what?
It's insanity to think that way. It's kind of a badge of honor,
to
psychologically for these people because they don't know what peace is.
Man, So I don't know. I think honestly, they're gonna get her off, man. That's the thing.
I think so too.
Well, he messed up because listen, a lot of times when you're having these type of cases and stuff like that, And a change your mind, change your thinking. We're always going to be about the black community first before we do anything else. And he made a mistake by going out and talking about black women. Like he was very
I
upfront.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't help.
Yeah.
Then even too, man, just date who you want, but know who you're dating. You know what I'm saying? That's the most politically correct way I could put that.
Yeah.
You know what our parents tell us not to do, guys.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, I think she's gonna get off, and just even looking at this, man.
Yeah.
I don't think she was that fearful. Because when you fearful for your life,
you're crying.
Yeah.
You're emotional.
Yeah.
She doesn't even look emotional.
No,
man. She
not
just
at
looks
all.
like she's having a basic conversation.
And that's why I'm upset at TMZ, because they were like, "This is damning. This is proving her point. Look at the guy. Look at this. You see that? Wow. Do you see that?
Oh, damn.
Huh? Wow. Look at that. You see these things sometimes. How interesting that's happening. So controlled opposition, maybe, and he goes right back to it. He went back to it. Man.
That is interesting,
isn't it? And he made sure.
So the thing that I always want to know is, like, how do we know that this is a definite source? This video, you know what I'm saying? They can change the metadata on these videos. That can just be a filter over the top that has the date and time and all of that shit on it, man. We never have any actual way to verify how authentic any of this shit is, and that's why I don't stress myself out with watching the news. I do pop culture night with y'all, cause you know what I'm saying.
Entertainment. It's entertainment.
This is the podcast. This is what we supposed to be doing, but I do not bother myself with any fucking news. No, no nothing, whatever's going on in celebrities' lives, because this kind of crazy shit is number one, what has a lot of people twisted in the mind in the world today, thinking that they can go and do what they want to do without any repercussions. And then also, man, just seeing all of this shit, and for the flip side, this scares people from going outside and enjoying life and maintaining their own peace. Be careful what it is that you consume through media, because it has an overarching effect on your life subconsciously.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's playing a serious Game of Thrones, bro.
She doing what white bitches do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man.
I mean, it's crazy, man. But God rest that brother's soul, man. Yeah. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm telling you, the end result. She gets off. Y'all don't be angry, because the thing is, it's gonna happen a lot more. I think she's the highest level of caring that you can have, man.
To be on the brink of freedom under these circumstances, yeah.
Yeah, and then we were talking before the show, like, there was a young black girl that killed her kidnapper. Basically, he was forcing her into sex slavery. And she killed him to get away, and they brought charges against her. And not only that, the family sued.
Yeah.
And they gave this girl time and everything. It's just like, it's like black women don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, black men, we really don't matter. But black women, will never get this type of treatment that this chick got. She
got carte blanche right now.
Yeah, and went to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? She killed somebody, stab a dude to death, and go to Hawaii.
Yeah, the due process is never equal.
Yeah. So basically, the 911 call, real quick, we're still on this. The 911 call of the boyfriend. She called the cops.
We can play it out loud on the speaker if you want.
Yeah, let's do that so they can hear that a little bit. Sorry, get out your way.
You're all good.
So this is Courtney Clinty and Christian Abumseli. I'm gonna make sure I'm saying that right.
You can hear the dog.
Listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address. 3101. 3101. Get to my arm. Ma'am, ma'am, what is the address? Ma'am, is this a house apartment or a business? Is this a house apartment or a business? Ma'am, can you hear me? What do you mean he has a stab wound on his shoulder, ma'am? Let's see, this is CD Physician Juliet. You call it, ma'am, hold on one moment. I call it by CX 3131 Northeast 7th Avenue, 31 Northeast 7th Avenue. The phone number is verified. The caller advised that her boyfriend has a stab wound. Okay, is this a house apartment or a business?
You can't really hear shit.
Yeah,
man.
she's a drama queen.
Nah.
You know, listen.
Why would they even release that shit?
Yeah, right. She stabbed him in the subclavian artery because anytime you say the shoulder, he said he couldn't feel
his arm.
So that means he was bleeding out. He was dying. He lost all mobility in his arm, and he said, you know, he could feel his heart stopping. So he was bleeding out, and she actually had called her mom before she called 911.
Cause she wanted to know what to do.
Yeah.
I just killed this nigga. What? Look, man. She can call them and try to pretend like. What is she? She said in there, he's been stabbed in the arm. Bitch, you stabbed him. Not he's been stabbed. You stabbed him. Fucking say that. You know what I'm saying? She was already lying at that point. So
creating a narrative, and I think that's what Janessa meant by that. But I just believe that she did it out of a fit of rage. I don't think she did it on purpose because
that is on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, just in the sense of when you're unbalanced, you know what I'm saying, you're beyond any level of control at that point. So
that's still
the only thing you see is your point of view, and that point of view is what caused this. So you are highly responsible for your action.
Yeah.
Even if it's out of an emotional state. There's no such thing as an accident when you grab a knife and you stick it in.
It's premeditated,
it's
man.
Definitely, because she did. I'm telling you, it had to be a hammer strike. It wasn't no. She didn't go. She said.
Matter of fact,
you know.
I'm curious, how many times was he stabbed?
Yeah, they're saying one, but I remember when the report came out, she stabbed him several times. So.
It says 5 fast facts you need to know. Please list them. All right. Okay, he went to Texas. Don't care about that. How many times was he stabbed? Described as an extremely compassionate individual with an infectious smile. This is talking about the boyfriend who was stabbed. Graphic video shows Clinty appearing bloody after the stabbing, so blah, blah, blah. Different accounts about violence. Okay. Oh, shit, looks like that Instagram has been deleted. That's interesting. And da-da-da-da. Yeah, they're not telling how many times a nigga got stabbed, but I don't think he got stabbed once, man. No. She's already frantic in the phone call, flipping out. Whatever. Fatally stabbed. That's really all that matters. This white chick killed this African young man, and you know me. Fuck that white bitch, man. It is what it is. You know, if she gets off, I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully she doesn't.
Yeah. Hopefully justice will be served because you know you must be accountable for your actions. I'm a firm believer. I don't care what color you are. I just believe that you know when you do stuff like that, man, you need to be held accountable.
I agree.
You know, and I'd be the first one to be like, she needs the death penalty.
She does.
You know, because you take a life, you lose a life, and you took that man from his family. You know,
family, friends.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. And again, to black women, like I get it. The brother, you know, he at
He said what he
17.
said, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, and a lot of them cats are bums, in my opinion.
I mean, we're talking about kids figuring out, how to navigate through this world, man.
Yeah.
Black men and women say a shit ton of extremely inflammatory things toward one another.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, man, we're supposed to be in support of our own community. So.
And if you like people from different cultures, that's fine. Just never put that.
Don't put your culture down.
Yeah, by putting, what I'm saying, like it's not going to make
you don't have to put your culture down to uphold another culture.
Ever and never. Since we're talking about this type of thing, this subject, and guys on my end, at the 1 hour mark, unfortunately, this may cut off.
You got about 5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes to talk. I'm gonna segue into this next segment, where we're going to be talking about this incident that happened last year with this homeless man, and there's been some development in regards to what's going on with this situation. There's an Indiana police officer faces federal charges. Video shows him stomping on a man's face. Don't know if you've seen it, and if there's a video out about this situation. I saw it, man. It disgusted me. It disgusts me. I think I'm not big on what do you call it, defunding police.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on that. I am huge on
getting them some
accountability,
different training, more impactful training, more something that'll make them more disciplined in how they interact, or how they react in high stress situations.
And removing qualified immunity. It has to go. I don't think anything's gonna make a difference until they do that. They have to remove qualified immunity. The fact that even exists should tell people how corrupt the police system is. It's just not a good thing. And just like what Antonio said, the training, because a lot of them come from, you think about it. If all you ever been around was someone of your own persuasion and culture, all you know is from what you see in the media about other people.
Yeah.
So that's
why sensitivity training is a thing in the government. They have so many different computer-based trainings, and even different programs that are supposed to teach you about other cultures, how to interact with them, what some of their triggering terms and racial slurs might be, and how to best navigate those situations.
Well,
now, before we jump into that, because I know your shit's gonna cut off in like 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
So let me run down the show info.
Sure, let's go.
We are on Instagram at CMCT_show. Facebook, you can find us at CMCT Show. Our YouTube channel is CMCT_show. We can also be found on Twitter at CMCT_show. You can email us with questions, nudes, or whatever it is that you want to send to our email. Huh?
You said nudes or news?
Nudes, same thing. It's news to somebody when we get them. We can be emailed.
I know y'all heard it the same way I heard it. That's why I was like, did he say nude? Was that a slip of the tongue?
No, I did that on purpose.
Okay.
That's my humor. But it's not funny if you do it. In which case, you're going to need the email, which is cmctshow@gmail.com. We can also be found on TikTok at CMCT_show. Our link tree, finally, is also at CMCT_show. You can go there to find our PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and all the other payment apps that are out there. The host's social media, his Instagram is DARKAN2000, the number 2000. That's DARKAN, the number 2000. His Twitter is also DARKANENT, and my Instagram is just at @the_dosage.
Good. Perfect.
Is it off yet? Nope. Got a minute. It's about to shut off, and then we'll get into reading about this ridiculous officer who decided to go ahead and stomp on a man's face.
Yeah, man. Listen, I watch a lot of videos that deal with violence in order to prepare myself to be better at self-defense instruction. Um,
All right, so that just restarted. So let's get to. I'll start reading that when they get back online over there. But again, this gentleman, man, for whatever his reasoning was, decided that the best course of action was to take a young man who seems to have already been detained, or at least under control, restrained in some fashion.
He was handcuffed.
Yeah, and he went ahead and stomped on his face. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Is that already? Oh, it's already back there?
Yeah, we're
okay.
back up.
Yeah,
We're
so
back
let me
up.
go ahead and start reading. So, an Indianapolis police sergeant is facing federal charges after he was caught in a shocking body cam video stomping on the face of a handcuffed homeless man as he lay on the ground. Sergeant Eric Huxley, 44, a 15-year veteran, was indicted by a federal grand jury for violating the black man's civil rights by using excessive force during the incident captured on video on September 24th, 2021. I did not know that this happened so long ago. So they're just now. So this trial's been going on. What is that? That's almost a year now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's over a year now.
The police unions, man. Them unions keep these cats, man. They
keeping them around. Yeah. Damn. So Huxley, who is white, was charged with one count of deprivation of rights under color of the law while using a dangerous weapon, which resulted in bodily harm. The sergeant and two other officers, Sergeant Kibbe and Officer Shores, attempted to arrest Jermaine Vaughn for disorderly conduct and force him to the ground as he argued. Fox 59 reported, they quoted, "The man is lying on his butt on the floor and looking up at Officer Shores with his hands tied behind his back," the affidavit explained as probable cause. That's probable cause? Probable cause to do what?
It's horrible. Yeah, they were just harassing him. Cops sometimes have to clean up an area where there's homeless.
Yeah.
And they'll do everything in their power to get a charge on people who resist in regards to asking questions. Because when you watch the video, that's what was going on. He was just asking them questions, and they just felt like you don't have the right to ask questions. And that's happening a lot lately.
Yeah. People
are being, disrespected by police by asking questions. This whole totalitarian type of mindset. This thing of you don't have a right to ask me questions, or let me get you in cuffs and then I'll explain to you what's going on. There's something wrong with that, man.
No, that's insane. I'm going to run that back because that was a bit appalling. I don't think I even understood it properly the first time I read it. It says, and I quote, "The man is lying on his butt on the floor and looking up at Officer Shores with his hands tied behind his back. The affidavit explained as probable cause," the news outlet reported. That is definitely not probable cause. Yeah. That is, again, insane. Jermaine Vaughn was arrested for disorderly conduct when officers threw him to the ground. IMPD, where are they at? Iowa or some shit?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, my bad. IMPD, Sergeant Eric Huxley is then seen stomping on Vaughn's head in the footage. So if you wanted to go and Google this, the headline is "Indiana Police Officer Faces Federal Charges." The video shows him stomping on a man's face.
Yeah, and it's a literal stomp. I mean, in some articles they say kick. There's a difference between a kick and a stomp.
Yeah.
Stomp has a lot more pressure.
You're coming up and going
up
down.
And straight down. Gravity's helping you with that. And he did it right on the middle of the man's face, his teeth and his nose, and you just see he's bleeding from the face after the stomp happens. It's really horrible to watch.
Yeah.
I remember, like I said, a lot of this stuff when we're watching, especially when we're doing our nights on current events and pop culture, a lot of this stuff is very triggering. And I remember there was a time when they wouldn't even show stuff like this.
Yeah, not on TV.
After the Rodney King beating, that's when it all changed.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget, and watching that of course was highly triggering. So
here's some back and forth between the officers. I believe. It says Sergeant Huxley then walks over the man. He raises his left leg and drives his left foot down the man's face. Blood is visible within seconds. On the man's mouth, it said, "Stop, you're done, you're done, you're done." Huxley yells at Vaughn after kicking him in the face, the video shows. There you are, police brutality, the bloodied suspect replies. The federal grand jury indictment alleges that Huxley used his foot to hit the man without legitimate justification. Huxley, who was suspended without pay, also faces termination along with local charges of battery and official misconduct, according to Fox 59. The city, the police department, and police chief Randall Taylor are also facing a separate federal lawsuit alleging the other two officers who reported Huxley faced retaliation, the station added. Sergeant Eric Huxley faces federal charges after shocking body cam footage shows him stepping on the face of a handcuffed suspect. So, kind of just runs it down again. But, yeah, no, that's insane.
Yeah, when you see stuff like this happen, and we got to remember, a lot of people on the streets, a lot of the homeless are military vets, man.
Yeah.
You know, cats that served this country, man.
And they happen to be down on their luck, or you know,
or
they don't know exactly how many amenities they are afforded having veteran status.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've
done a lot of that
because
work.
a lot of them, you know, mentally, man.
Yeah.
You know, they don't trust anybody. They have paranoia, PTSD or PTSD. You know, and it's sad to see that. So it's like, I think just the basic common courtesy of treating another person like a human being. I mean, I'm a martial artist, and I ain't gonna lie, I love violence. Like, people will be like, oh,
right.
you know, I don't, you know, I'm not a violent man. No, I'm very violent. I love violence. I'm always ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Once I learned what real combat is about, I'm always ready to fight. But I mean, man,
we don't walk around abusing people.
Yeah, man.
Based on the skill set.
Dude, and the video is it's very triggering. He walked up to him and just stomped him, and he was like, "That's it, you're done, and you know, in that demeanor that they, you know, you're done, you're done.
Do they have they didn't have a clip of the video.
Yeah, it's man.
We don't need to see it. I get it, man.
Yeah.
The same reason I don't watch any of all the new slave movies and shows.
Yeah,
I'm tired of watching
enough trauma.
Black.
Yeah.
You know, black horror, man.
Horror.
It's all black horror, and it's bullshit to have to
well,
constantly be fed that.
Right there. That's his foot coming down on him.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's right on top of his face too, like right over his nose and his eyebrows and shit. Like.
And then the cops who allowed it to happen, man. You know.
Yeah, because they easily one of them should have pulled him where the dude is already handcuffed. You know what I mean?
My friend Mark Cunningham always says the blue gang is at it again. He calls it the blue gang.
He's not lying.
Is at it again.
He's not lying at all.
It's just crazy, man. So hopefully this guy gets everything thrown at him that he deserves, and he gets his just deserves. He gets his comeuppance because, you know, thank you, Preach, appreciate you, salute to you, because that was a horrible situation. I can only imagine the nights that brother cried, man.
Yeah, he's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna get paid. But you know, anytime you get paid with these types of payouts, it comes from the city.
It's to settle.
Yeah, it's a settlement that comes from the city. The cops don't get hit. I think once you start to get rid of their immunity and you start hitting them in the pocket, they'll think twice before they commit stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. Because their careers are never fully in jeopardy. Their retirements are not really in jeopardy. There has to be some sort of recourse for this sort of behavior from officials who are supposed to be trusted with the insurance of public safety. Plain and simple.
Yeah, it makes you not even want to call them when you got an issue, man.
I don't call the fucking police.
I have no desire. We can handle our own selves.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that, you know, for people that really need to be able to handle it.
Some people do.
You know, I think it was who was it? It was one of the brothers that was talking about that the black community needs to have its own police force.
Yeah. Black
people who are from the community who enforce the laws.
Yeah. We
don't need outside people that are driven in. And so even with my boy Farley, his brother Ivan is from Inglewood area. So when he's working in that area, he has a different perspective and an understanding of the culture because he's black from that area.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense to me. It really does. Yeah. All right. Anybody on your end of the world got something to say about it? They're just in and out?
Everybody's just kind of listening to us speak tonight.
Cool. No worries. All right.
Thank you for the floor, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And hopefully what we're telling you guys about is some stuff that you may have not heard or you're getting a different perspective of things that you've already heard about. This next thing we want to talk about is because I want to end it off on a good note. So we'll talk about this kid, this unruly kid. Yeah. Let me explain something to you guys, man. I would never. There's two jobs that I would not do at all. One is I would not be a police officer. No way, no how. Even if it was a thing of, okay, you're policing your own neighborhoods. I have no desire to have that type of restraint against stupidity and lawlessness and ignorance. I couldn't do it. The second thing is I would not be a teacher, especially in today's world. Now, I am a teacher in some regards, like I teach self-defense. But if somebody's not getting it, I can say, listen, the strike is coming. You don't block it, you're going to get hit. You're going to have to fix it. That's how that works.
And it's always understood.
Very much understood, because pain is a great motivator and teacher.
Yes, it is.
And so, with that being said, when you're a school teacher, you can't go around hitting these kids. You can't go around saying certain things, or else you can get sued, lose your job. You know what I mean? If you got 15 years on the job, all of a sudden one kid can make you lose everything.
Yeah.
One outburst can make you lose everything. The kid hits you, you hit him back.
Even just saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, can you lose everything? And knowing, we were talking about this before the show, these kids need their asses beat, man.
I agree.
They need their asses beat. We
don't mean, abusing kids or torturing them or, anything like that, but it makes sense that if you touch fire, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, it's going to burn you. Mm-hmm.
It is hot. Mm-hmm. And kids are not being brought up to understand that reality. And I don't think they have been for the last 20 years.
Right. I agree.
Possibly longer than that, actually.
Yeah.
But.
Well, yeah. I mean, there used to be a point in the school system where corporal punishment was allowed.
I was about to say, yeah. So when I was in elementary, my first 3 years of elementary school, they were still whooping kids' ass at school. Mm-hmm. Me and my sister Olivia, we got took to that closet a couple times. You know what I'm saying? And did it work? I've had a pretty successful life. You know what I'm saying? I don't have traumas associated with having been disciplined and spoken to and then disciplined about the things that I was fucking up on as a kid. Mm-hmm. I needed it badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom raised 5 boys, and even when she got to a point where she couldn't pop us in our heads with her knuckles, she would use the broomstick. And I remember seeing one day, I was in LA, and I remember seeing these kids. They were so bad, and it hit my heart. And I called up and I said, "Thank you for whooping my ass." You know what I'm saying? You did right by us, Mom. Minus one brother. All the rest of us are pretty much well behaved, and we are respectful to an extent. But I just think that what happened was that these kids have no fear. They have no fear of authority.
I think it's that they have no respect for authority.
That too. And they think that respect is something that they're obligated to have.
That it's optional.
That when you hear this kid in the video talking about, he even says it. He's like, respect is something that, it should be, you're supposed to give me respect if you want respect. But the
way that he is standing up to and talking to these adults, and I didn't used to think that age mattered coming up. But it does, man. Mm-hmm. It very much implicates how much, or it's indicative of how much knowledge that you have based on everything that you've come across.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you're 14, 15, 16, typically you have not gone through anything that actually matters.
Yeah. There's a rare occasion where you have that.
Yeah.
The ones that move out on their own. They've been on their own since they were 13, stuff like that. That's different. That's a rare occasion. Most of these kids, some of them, like with this kid, he has a dad and a mom.
Yeah, to automatically give ultimate respect and reverence to a young person who's never even been in the situation where you got to decide whether or not you're going to pay electricity and water or eat, for the next 2 weeks.
It gets so bad that this kid's dad has to leave work and come to the school, like on the phone. I'll be there in a minute.
If my mom and dad ever had to come and get me from school, And I had that maybe twice between elementary, middle, and high school. Maybe twice. And I regretted it.
And
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you knew when they were coming. You was like, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing. I mean, listen.
When the teachers know that your parents ain't playing with you, that's important too.
Oh yeah, it's very important
for the teacher to be able to say, "Oh, you're trying me today?"
Yeah.
Well, I know Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Let me go ahead and give them a call.
And in that respect, it's important that parents have a very big, strong connection with those other people who are in authority.
Who are dealing with their children.
Yeah, I think it got to a point where parents just felt like, they can come down and talk all kinds of ways to the teachers and stuff. My mom was very big in regards to how I was acting in school. She came to parent teachers day.
Yeah, my mom was in PTA as well, man, and hated for them to say, "Oh, you gonna act like we don't know your mama, nigga?" You know what I'm saying? That shit matters, man.
Yeah. So this story with this kid, basically, this young man, you got it?
Oh shit! I thought it had closed. My bad. Oh, far right. Yeah.
This young man, we have this video clip of this young man. It says body cam shows controversial arrest, which it really isn't, and it's an hour long, so that's kind of why we're not really messing with it like that. But it says body cam shows controversial arrest, pepper spraying of Tennessee high school student. All right, and then it says the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office released body cam footage showing the controversial arrest of an 18. Now that's the thing that stuck out to me. This boy, 18, still in high school. The 18-year-old high school student in Tennessee after a bystander's video of the incident surfaced on social media. Deputies were called to East Ridge High School by a teacher after a student allegedly became aggressive when asked why he wasn't playing kickball in gym class. Authorities say a deputy got physical with the student twice when attempting to escort him out and used pepper spray when the student did not comply. Hamilton County Sheriff Austin.
So they did pepper spray him?
Yeah, he man, I'm telling you, this thing is an hour long. It was very exhausting. And I don't blame the cop.
If the video's exhausting, I know that actual interaction, that nigga was probably tired as hell. I know he wouldn't have much after that shit.
He gave him more chances than I would give my own child. Yeah. You know what I mean? Austin Garrett said an internal investigation into the incident is being conducted. The student was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and assault. And all of that is correct. Every last charge. Because normally they would throw charges on you. I'm not a bootlicker by any means.
But he's not a kid.
He's not. He's 18 years old.
He's
and that
18
in
years
itself,
old, acting like a child.
And that in itself made it even worse. Because when I saw that he was 18, I was like, wait a minute, you 18?
That is indicative of how it is that he's been coddled. So much so that he doesn't understand that he has a public image to maintain.
Yes.
Nigga, you supposed to be defending and maintaining your own freedom, and you out here acting a fool.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, had he not been in this classroom environment on a school campus, who knows what kind of police officer he would have came across.
That's very
and he's
true.
talking to him, flipping and having all of these different emotional outbursts during this hour, man. He could have got killed.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that he can demand respect from others.
Yeah, let's actually we got it linked up to the spot that I wanted to play, so we can definitely hear this. Apologies for the other clip. We didn't know that the 911 clip was going to be so.
It was going to be so trashy.
Yeah, we didn't know she was going to be acting her ass off. So with this one, we can definitely hear.
That's not the point. It's not about the kickball game. It's about me not feeling myself. How many times I gotta say that?
I didn't say a word to you about not playing. When I say anything, I thought, that's fine.
You came to me after I came down on the bleachers. That's my whole point. You keep talking about the game.
The question. We're doing a kickball game.
Talking about the game. That's
You
the
don't
whole
play.
point.
When we have free time in basketball, that's what you did. And I asked
Put it in the comments.
You think it's better now than you went over. It was 10 minutes ago. I think that's a legitimate question.
It doesn't matter. I'm up there on the bleachers, and I'm telling you, I was to do with none of that. I said I was feeling sick. If I'm feeling sick, I'm gonna be up there on the bleachers. What is you not understanding that? When I'm feeling myself, I'm gonna come down. What is you not understanding that?
like this right now.
Lower your voice.
I'm just excusing myself. Anything else you wanna come from?
I don't want you to
If you
excuse
wanna
yourself,
talk to
man.
anybody, I got a lawyer, anything, but you not
He
gonna
got a
come to me no
lawyer.
type of way, disrespect me. Bro, get your hands off me.
Hold on.
Get your hands off me.
He's talking to the officer right now.
What the fuck are you doing?
You got 5 seconds to
What
get
you
your
gonna
hands
do?
on me.
What you gonna do?
You got 5 seconds to get your
What
hands
you
on me. I
gonna
ain't
do?
gonna do nothing. You gonna
Exactly.
get your ass up off of me.
Talking
Get
to
out
a
my
police
presence,
officer
you got
like
to say.
this, man.
Be a good citizen like you is.
How about you be a good citizen, not raise your voice?
Put that badge on your hood.
It causing a big scene inside the gym.
Nah, I ain't
Because
calling
you're really pushing for disorderly conduct.
I ain't pushing nothing.
You
If
are.
I'm pushing something, alright.
Threatening the cop. He literally
Like I
threatened.
said,
He did. And the cop at that point, he could have took that as a full-on threat.
Okay, so let's pause there for a second. So basically, being that we can't really show you guys what's going on, we can describe what's happening. He started, there's an old phrase that we used to say, he's sowing his royal oats. He feels like, all right, I'm a man.
Because he's 18.
Because he's 18.
Now he's a man in his
But you're
mind.
still in high school, though. And this happened, last month.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this happened last month.
About a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally a month ago. So what part of the year is this? This is not even.
This is like beginning of the school year.
Yeah, so he more than likely he's gonna be about 19 by the time he graduates.
Time he graduates, yeah. Now we don't know. He might have went to school a year late, or who knows what. But at the end of the day, nigga, you're calling yourself 18, but you're in grade school. You need to behave
As such,
according to the environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You here to get your education, nigga. You gonna pretend to be sick on the benches because you didn't want to play, was it kickball or dodgeball?
He didn't want to do kickball. That's what.
But
that's all
they broke out the basketballs. Now my nigga want to jump off the bench. He ready to go. He's stretching out. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, because he claimed he was sick. He wasn't feeling good.
but the PE teacher didn't go for that bullshit.
Right. He called him on it, and he had every right to.
As he should.
He says, "Oh, so now you're not sick?" Like he was like, "That's not how this works."
I'm like, nah. Matter of fact, you need to go ahead and go to the nurse's office.
Sure.
Go. If you go get a note from them telling me you're not sick, maybe I'll let you play basketball.
Absolutely, and that would have been an issue as well too. That would have been. I guarantee that would have been an issue as well.
If I already gave you carte blanche and let you sit on the bench because you were sick during kickball, go prove to me that you're not sick.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is that he walks off from everybody. Like he's dismissing everybody. He dismissed
Because he's grown.
Yeah, because he's grown. He dismissed the cops. He dismissed the principal, the assistant principal. He dismissed the coach. No one could talk to this kid. And the cop is told by everyone else that we want him out. We want him gone because he's stopping the like. Eventually, when everything escalates, you can hear other students watching this and screaming at him, telling him about chill out. But he's fighting the cop because the cop is telling him to take off the bag. Let's go. You got to no. First, the cop is just telling him, let's just go. We got to go. You got to leave. You got to get out. And he's like, I ain't going nowhere. So he.
That's how. One of the things me and my mom talk about often, especially since I've been out in the world by myself, man, is how fucking stupid kids are. Kids are really dumb. Kids are extremely stupid. They're assholes.
Yeah.
They have no common sense for the most part.
What's up, Michael son?
They're developing. There's so much to be had to be able to actually stand on your own 2 feet out in this world. And you have no idea about it until it actually hits you in the fucking face.
Yeah.
And now all this coddling and protection that they have, man, it's not benefiting these generations at all.
No, you're hurting them. If you're a parent and you feel like the teachers and everybody, because he even threw in a racist thing, which, a lot of times.
That shit didn't have nothing to do with race.
Yeah. I mean,
You tried to bullshit an adult and they called you on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had every right to call because there has to be some level of authoritative positioning, because then everybody can do everything they want to do.
They should send his ass to an adult school.
Yeah.
You 18 and you want to come here and act a fool?
Yeah.
Now you got to go to an alternative school, nigga.
So the cop follows him to the bleachers because the boy goes back to the bleachers. And he tells him, look, you need to get your stuff. You need to go. And He said, I ain't going nowhere. You heard him.
Because even Mr. Perry wants you to get you stuff because he wants you to meet him over there. So let's go.
I don't care about what Mr. Perry said. I'm in this class. I just got in this class.
Okay, let's go.
What you say to me, dog?
Let's go.
He didn't care about the class when he was in there hurting on the bench because it was
I
kickball.
ain't fucking with you.
Who the fuck is you talking about riding jail? I ain't do shit to begin with.
It's called disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct. You ain't
And let's go.
And he's being cool right now because he could be knocking this nigga down and putting him in cuffs.
That's cool.
Get up off the
Record,
bleachers.
keep recording. I hope you got everything I said in there.
So let's go. Come with me.
Just total
Stand
disregard.
up and come with me.
Flippant. He doesn't
I'm
care.
telling you, if he's so lucky this was in a classroom environment, man.
Yeah.
His fucking life could have been on the line.
Yeah.
Doing some dumb shit like this at a Walmart or something.
Yeah. So if you guys are listening, you're out there, if anybody, our young audience members, stop feeling like you have to prove something about respect in regards to how you deal with people of authority.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you a lawful order to get up and come on now. All right, man. Take the backpack off. We finna go to the gym. Don't resist me, dude. What are you doing?
It's unfortunate.
Resist me. Don't do it.
All right, well, his cam comes off, and he's, working to get the kid in. Look, so the dude is swinging around. He can't control him. He doesn't want to hurt him bad, but he's doing his best to get him in under restraint. Anyway, he ends up macing the kid. Because, listen, a lot of times when you're saying, I'm not resisting, you're not being put in cuffs is resisting. That's what people have to understand. All right? And I know nobody
And he said a ride to the station.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell him he was going to actually arrest him. He was
Not
like,
at all.
I just got to bring you down
Yeah.
because this is what they want. Your parents, whoever can come get your goofy ass, you know what I'm saying? But he turned something that could have been so simple. And if you know me, man, I'm super pro black. I don't play bullshit at all when it comes to how we're treated. But this is pretty undeniable, man.
Yeah.
His behavior got him everything that's rolling downhill right now.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because when I'm very big on when I watch videos, I look at the comments. I want to see what people's thoughts and viewpoints are.
Yeah.
And it was split. A lot of people felt like the kid was justified in his action.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Those are unruly people.
Yeah. And they were like, the cop was wrong, that pig, this and that. And I'm just like, this is one of them
He
situations
stood
where you
there
guys
and asked this. He just asked him to be cool.
Yeah.
Man, come on, get up. Let's go. Let's get this shit over with. You figure out your school situation later. You know what I'm saying? And he just...
Yeah. Just unruly.
He's
just
that
incorrigible.
entitled, man.
Yeah, entitled. That's exactly what it is. So he maces the kid, and look at it. This is 15 minutes in.
And he still ain't knocked him down and put his ass in cuffs, and he could have did that.
Yeah. And what happens is the kid calls his dad. At that whole time, he's got mace in his eyes and everything. The cop's still saying, "Look, man, I gotta cuff you now," And he's like, "No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm waiting till my dad comes." Blah blah blah.
And kudos and respect to the cop, man, for putting the body. He picked it back up and put it on his body.
Yeah. Because he wants to get this together, and so the kid still he won't take off the bag. I mean, look at this. This is like it's like he's dealing with a 5-year-old.
No, he's grown. He's 18 now.
Yeah. He's telling him over and over again, take off the bag. Kid's ignoring him.
He just looking at his phone.
I'm going to take the bag off. We can get you decontaminated once the backpack is off.
So basically, the decontaminations, they want to get the mace out of his eyes, yeah. And the kid won't let him take it off.
If you would have just listened, this would have happened.
He needs to be getting his eyes rinsed right now, but he's so stupid.
And stubborn.
He's not even in that
You're going to
situation.
resist.
Yeah.
They say
Some more, dude.
don't cut your nose off to spite your face.
Amen. There you go, yeah.
Take the bag off, man. That's all you have to do. Just take the bag off.
So the nurses come, everybody comes, they want to help him. 20 minutes in, he still will not take off the bag.
He's literally sprawled out on the floor like a child.
Like
right
a child.
now.
Like a child. Finally,
his dad should have showed up and beat his motherfucking
dad comes,
ass, bro.
and people were applauding the dad because they was like he was so calm.
Your son and a coach are
mad at each other for whatever reason. I'm just there to be seen.
De-escalate, basically.
For whatever reason. Well, your son starts getting more agitated, raising his voice, disrupting the entire gym. At this point, that's disorderly conduct, but I'm not really wanting to do anything with it at this point. But he goes to walk away, and one of my things that I try to do here with all the kids is try to pull them to the side after they've had a confrontation with a teacher and go, let me holler at you real quick, let me talk to you, try to squash whatever this is that you got going on. So as he walks away, I put my hand on his shoulder and say, hey man, come here, let me talk to you for a second. He squares off with me and says, you got 5 seconds to get your hands off me.
That's exactly what happened.
That is what happened.
Like at that point, now I'm feeling threatened.
It's on the video.
Squaring up on me. Well, why are you doing this? As he's walking away, I was like, look, dude, come here. I need to talk to you. You're causing a huge scene. You're yelling. You're causing disruption to the entire gym. He goes sit down on the bleachers. I said, look, even Mr. Perry wants you to get your stuff.
You got to go.
You at least got to go to his school suspension or whatever he wants to do with you for now. I said, but get your stuff. Come on, get up, go. But he keeps, yelling, causing disruption. It's like, all right, man. That's over. You got to take a route disorder at this point. He causes big scene. I'm okay. You can open here. At this point, you got to route him. He causes big freaking scene. Everything else. So I grab him by his arm to go to stand him up.
Yep.
He starts fighting him. So I'm using everything I can to not tumble down the bleachers with him.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do.
So he goes into telling the dad everything, and then the dad finally goes after hearing the whole story. Can I speak to him? So mind you, this is 34 minutes. This conversation.
He didn't end up acting a fool with his dad, did he? I bet not.
It's the only person after 38 minutes going into 40 minutes. And then the other teacher tells him, he backs up what the cop says. That everything the cop said was right. I was there. So the dad's listening to this. He finally goes in and he tells his son, take off the bag. And the son takes off the bag.
That's a dumb ass kid. Kids are so fucking stupid, man.
Now, the thing that I had an observation about was that first off, everybody was saying the dad was really cool and calm. And I said that in itself is an issue. Because if this boy would not do anything until his dad came, there's a problem. There's a serious
His dad should
problem.
not be his handler
Absolutely.
or his overseer.
Absolutely, because that's aimed for him to actually be killed one day.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to kill him.
That means if his dad is not present, he can't act accordingly.
18, you're a grown-ass man. And so it looks like a spoiled child.
Because the world hasn't really shown him yet.
And so the dad tells him, all right, we're going to go ahead and get your eyes rinsed out and everything. And then finally he tells him, okay.
My mom and dad would have made me ride home with that shit in my eyes.
What, just even hearing that conversation from the cop, like, wait a minute, what did he say to you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What did he say to you? So they rinse his eyes out, and finally he allows the cop to put the cuffs on him, and they take him and put him, But this is an hour in before the cuffs are even put on him.
I'm more familiar with, taking adults.
I mean, you talk about coddling.
He just said taking adults, taking them to jail.
You talking about coddling? I mean,
that situation could have been so much worse for him. Just based on the fact that he's above the age of it's above the age of 12, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And for
Treated
him to not understand that's what he's up against that's insane to me.
So listen, at the end of it, I chalked it all up to there's something probably wrong with the boy. Maybe mentally he needs therapy.
It's just how he's being brought up, man. The world. He hasn't seen the world for what it is as an actual adult yet, and as you know, I don't believe that anyone's really truly officially grown until after the age of 25. Mm-hmm. 18 to 25 is still some you figuring out how to be grown. You basically a kid again at the adult level because you have to figure out how do I be an adult? Mm-hmm. How do I maintain my livelihood? How do I keep my bills paid and maintain order in my life? These kids are fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
He's a very stupid child, and he doesn't know that he's a child.
Yeah. Someone said, look at how his father comes in and he listens. You can tell he respects his father. No, I don't really think so.
He doesn't because he wouldn't have put his dad in a situation to have to come up to the school to begin with.
Boom. That's my point. That's exactly my point. And so with that type of situation, it's very dangerous because as a young black male, you cannot have that level of disrespect towards authority, period. Doesn't matter who the person is, all right? Doesn't matter who the person is, let alone the accountability. He's not assuming the accountability that comes with being a person of age, okay? When you're 5 years old, okay, we get it. 10 years old, all right, listen, it's time to start seeing things with a different perspective. Once you're in your teens, yeah, okay, you always have the excuse you're going to make stupid mistakes, whatever that is. But once you become of age, and once you've grown into that little body that becomes more of a mature body, now you're considered a threat to somebody of authority when you're not complying. And I'm not saying be a bootlicker, because I'm far from being that type of person. I don't believe in just doing because people say to do it. You should always have a rational sense of thinking in regards to how you apply yourself and how you deal with any situation that you're in. But in this situation, it was definitely a thing of privilege for him, because he didn't want to play kickball, but he wanted to play basketball. And so he was sick when, we've all had that before, All right. Oh, you don't want broccoli. Okay, you're not hungry, but the cake come out, now you hungry. Because I was that kid, so I understand that. But anyway, this kid's gonna have to deal with the repercussions of that. And you know, I implore all my young black brothers who are still in high school, who are listening, or if you have a young teen in your life, educate them on understanding the difference between standing up for your rights and feeling like you're not being respected because you're not being heard in regards to what you feel you want to go on in that moment. There's a huge difference. And no, just because he has a dad, I don't think that relationship is a strong relationship. I think his dad is always going to be bailing him out. That's what's going to be happening in the future. All right, so we want to move on to the last segment tonight, and I think we're going to spend a little bit of time on this because
what's that?
This is something that I think many people have seen as far as a little bit of a meme.
Okay.
But they don't know the full story about that meme. And we're going to talk about that and really get into the full depth of what this is. There's a film, a documentary, and it won the top Tribeca Film Festival prize. I didn't know this. I didn't know that it won. And it popped up on my timeline today. This is back in June 18th, actually, when it won. But for whatever reason, it popped up on my timeline today as something that was current. And when I was watching it, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this clip before. And basically, it's a clip. The documentary, first off, is called The Cave of Adullam. And it's basically it's based on the story of David, King David, when he ran into the cave, when he went into isolation. He had to get away, and he went to the cave of Adullam when Samuel, is it Samuel or I think it's Samuel the king went after David to kill him, and David had to flee for his life, and he went to the cave of Adullam. And they named this martial art academy after that. The head sensei, he's a very powerful speaker. He does a lot of work in Detroit in regards to giving young black men direction, man. How cool is that? You know, we sit here on the show and sometimes we talk about who does anything for us besides ourselves. Yeah. There's a brother out there doing it. And this clip, it went around.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
We've all seen it. And it's just basically a clip of this young boy looking to break a board. He's testing. He's testing for yellow belt, and he has to break this board. And
which is pretty fucking early.
It's real early.
I respect that though.
He's not playing.
Yeah. That's the best thing you can do is start putting weapons and breaks in their hands.
Yeah,
the youngest that they are.
Yeah, man. And these young boys. Look, man, we've been blessed in this past 2 weeks to see some young black kids, man, dressed up in their little suits. You know what I mean? And when we talked about it on Tuesday, but when you went, you had that one kid with the bow tie.
Man, look. super smart.
Oh.
He's asking me professional level questions about cyber security and cyber surety. Man, I'm excited to go back and
Do some of the
just
other
get that
stuff.
young man everything that I can.
Because he even said he held you too. He said,
Yeah, he said,
I'm gonna have more questions for you.
You know what I'm saying?
I was blessed to catch that part because I had to take care of something. But
you got that on video?
I think I did get that part on video. So
I'm gonna have to post that.
Yeah.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, it was.
But beautiful.
I know
really,
I got the photo of it. I sent you that.
Yeah.
Because it was basically over his shoulder. He was so straight up in a stoop, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was like, there ain't no bending. Like, whoever his parents are, told you look and you stand up straight. And I think the teacher, we can give that credit to her as well. Because
she's showing them that they have to hold themselves to a higher standard.
I'm almost in tears because when you see that type of thing, it gives you hope.
Yeah, it does.
Because usually as he says, hope is for losers.
Yeah.
But hope that is applied with work, with work, isn't, because that means you will prevail, because it takes that spark in order for you to work on things.
You got it. What does it say? God helps those who help themselves.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, this I didn't know that this had won.
Gained that much traction.
Yeah, I didn't know. And apparently Lawrence Fishburne and Jesse Williams, Lawrence Fishburne got behind this film. So he became an executive producer of it. So it was directed by, and it's crazy, man. Look, Lauren Checkaway. That don't sound like nobody black, dude.
It don't.
At all. So she directed it, and it was produced by actor Lawrence Fishburne. And it focuses on Jason Wilson and his efforts to help young Detroit students through the Cave of Adullam transformational training academy that he founded in 2008.
No, that's a movie I'll watch. I'm going to look that up.
Yes. I can't wait to see it. Because I remember seeing the clip, and I was just like, oh, it was just a clip. All right. In announcing the win on Thursday, the festival described Wilson as living by the mantra, it's easier to raise boys than to repair broken men.
Welcome, Eric.
And on that note, the green-eyed bandit, the undisputed himself, walks in, looking all pumped up. We got a little gym here at the complex that he works out at, getting right for the ladies and for his future boxing career.
Making heavyweight champions in here.
Yes,
man.
That's what we do.
Plain and simple.
So your donations, they help. Trust me, because it comes back. But anyway, again, I'm going to read that. The festival described Wilson as living by the mantra, it's easier to raise boys than to repair broken men.
I agree with that.
That's
why I always say start with the children.
That's profound, brother. That's profound.
Because we can't fix adults, man. They have to want to fix themselves. Doesn't matter how many options you give them or however many opportunities you give them. If they don't want it themselves, man, an adult is going to do what the fucking adult is going to do.
Yeah.
But kids are looking to be guided.
Yeah.
They want to know, how is it that I can get to whatever level it is that you're at or beyond that, you know? And you have to be willing as an adult to take that stand and start giving these kids those opportunities, man. So it's very beautiful what he's done out in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to watch some of this. Obviously, can we put the link?
Yeah, we could. Or I think we could show them this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
show you guys this video here. We're going to show you guys this video. So, got a little time in which to get everything situated. So, I want y'all to see this because this actually made my day. It made my day.
Can we zoom in? Does it zoom? Nope, I got to zoom with my fingers.
G-pitch. So, like I said, many of you may have seen it come through your timeline on Instagram or Facebook because it was a shared clip.
Huge, yeah.
It was huge. But the fact that they and it's sad because had this documentary been about something crazy, you know what I mean? Like something off the wall, something far left, it would have been big news. But it slipped under the radar because it's about young black boys and this man and what he's doing. You know what I mean? But anyway, here we go.
Why are you crying? That's what this is about, son. It's okay to cry. You cry as men. Why are you crying, though, son? Come on. Tell me, why are you crying? You started a test for a reason. Why are you crying? Go ahead, son. Because what?
Because it is harder to struggle with my left hand.
Okay, good. But you did it, though. You punched me with your left hand. You know in life there's going to be things harder for you to do than other things.
Yes, sir.
And you know those things that may appear to be hard to do, you're going to have to do as a man, regardless. And it's going to take tears. It's going to take the blood of Yeshua, Jesus, and your sweat to break through it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So I don't mind you crying. I cry a lot too. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I want you to you're pulling your blow. I don't know if you're facing fear or you're feeling that you may not make it. And we all face that from time to time. And when we face, as soon as we have resistance, we want to stop, right? Because it's hurting. We feel that pain. We're like, I'm not going through this no more, right?
Yes, sir.
We have to walk through this man. It's going to be very painful. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Being a black man in this country, you're going to need mental fortitude. You're going to have to be strong here more so than here. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. And it's good to cry so you can work through that emotion. So when it arises again, you can push it to the side and do what you do. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what you got. Breathe easy, dig. Hard. Tell me what hard as you can.
All right, so that's the first part. No, because the second part gets even more enlightening. That's the first part. The first part was this young man's struggle, and okay, he's got his sensei there, and probably in the school of all those different kids.
Yeah.
You see all the little young black brothers in the background. And who I'm really digging is the brother that's assistant. Because you know, he gonna grow up to be powerful too, right?
Yeah.
He already got his third stripe, you know what I'm saying? So he's a third degree. I mean, if that didn't bring you close to tears to hear somebody give that type of testimony on what has to happen in order for him to get ready, and
For this world.
man, bro, come on, man. You know, watching this makes me miss teaching my young black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I taught all kinds of students, but the young black ones, every last one of them that I taught have grown up to be something proficient and effective in this world.
Yeah.
Great citizens. Trust me when I tell you that. Anyway, first part. Second part takes it even to another level. Because this is coming in off of what we went through with the other kid and his dad, right?
Yeah.
All right, watch this.
And you're not able to break that habit or whatever the first time. Keep fighting, keep going through it. And that's where you're going. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Good job.
This is this young man's dad.
Yes, sir. All right. So, we do your numbers? What? Huh?
This young brother right here, focused.
Keep going, son, right now. Chest down. 12. 13. You the one chose the numbers. 15. 16. 17.
Come on, Pops.
Come on.
Come on.
Good.
You should have kept his feet spread.
Good. Keep your numbers on. Keep your numbers on. That's how we do it.
Do it.
This is what it is to be a father. Am I doing
That's
50
right.
for real? No, sir. Juice. You got it, bro.
Come on, man.
You got it.
Bang out one more. Get to 20.
Come on, big boy. You know I come back if you don't got it. That's what we do, right? You gotta dig deep. Being a black father is a challenge, right? It may, right? So it's ain't gonna be easy. Wait till you get 16. You ready? Juice, dig. I ain't got to dig.
give up, man. You got your son on your back, man.
Alright? Excellent. I always push certain men a little further. And you've been like a role model dad, and you like amazing. And you bring him every day, not missing, and supporting the cave, and how you take him to the rallies and all that. It doesn't go unnoticed, brother. So I salute you, you know, for being that type of father. It's an honor to have you. Respect, respect. Still, give Bruce a hand, you pat.
Powerful.
Second coup.
Powerful. So definitely something worthy of that to watch, man. I see you too, Doctor. I see you too, Nadeed. Definitely. Thank you, man. Uh, yeah, that made my day. And like I said, the wild thing about it is that we didn't really hear much about it. It wasn't big in the news. Whereas normally when you hear about Tribeca and stuff like that, and you hear about these awards,
Yeah.
everybody's talking about, oh my God, this documentary. Da, 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 da. I mean,
I never heard anything about this.
the wild thing about it, because as the article continues, it talks more about how the effect of that clip right there had on people.
Yeah.
In 2017, Wilson made news again when the NBC drama This Is Us, and everybody, I never watched the show. I maybe watched
I've
one
never
episode,
watched it.
but I know people love that show. It won Emmys and Golden Globes. It just, they love that show. The NBC drama This Is Us admitted that a 2016 scene of Milo Ventimiglia,
They always everything we read got some
hard
wild
as
ass
last
names.
I can
man.
never get this guy
God
name,
damn.
but he's one of the main characters, main people of the show, main stars of the show. His a scene of his character doing push-ups at a dojo while his son balances on his back. It was inspired by the same video. Wilson's viral clip included footage of the same push-up exercise.
That's dope.
That's old school. If you know anything about martial arts, man, cats used to do that. Sometimes that was even punishment. You know what I mean? To make sure that you carry the load of your brother in the dojo back. I mean, I can admit that that's the first time I saw a father doing that. That's what.
Yeah, no, that's the first time I've seen that.
Man.
That's beautiful.
Come on, man. What we feeling right now? What we sharing with these people, man? After Wilson wrote on social media that the idea was used without his permission, 20th Century Fox Television, part of Disney Television Studios, posted a Twitter message giving him and his Detroit Academy credit for inspiring the scene, tweeting, "The producers and the writers of This Is Us found Mr. Wilson's work with his students incredibly moving." So they took the idea and didn't credit him in the first
Got
place.
paid for it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And then just shouted him out on social media.
Made everybody believe that the writers came up with that idea of, that was that, Wilson is the author of the 2019 memoir, Cry Like a Man, Fighting for Freedom from Emotional Incarceration. Wow. Yeah, I know, right? And the 2021 inspirational book, Battle Cry, Waging and Winning the War Within. And by the way, guys, I was incorrect. It's not Samuel. Samuel was the prophet. It was Saul, King Saul, that King David ran from to the cave. In addition to the best documentary, The Cave of Adullam also won the Best Editing Award for a documentary for Christopher McGlynn. See, this is crazy. This is crazy. And it's like, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it.
I'm definitely going to find it tonight, and this is going to be what I'm going to watch before I go to bed because, I mean, man. Listen, and we're almost over. Okay,
we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes, real quick. So next week, when we go into the self-defense section of our show, we're going to be talking about self-defense next week.
Yeah, we're going to have Eric bring his kids in. He'll do push-ups with his children on his back.
Yeah. With that being said, the reason why this affects me so much is because I see myself in it a lot, I guess. And I know what martial arts has done for my life.
Yeah.
I had to go into it with somebody earlier this evening about racism in the martial arts. It's a huge part of racism in the martial arts.
I seen that.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing, man. I just wanted to. That's why we made it last, man. I wanted to end the night, tonight's episode, show on that because it was such a powerful thing, and just revisiting that video, I'm almost in tears watching that, and then seeing the dad come out. I think that young man that was giving the cops such a hard time in school and all the other people of authority in school.
He needs that sort of influence in his daily life.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I don't work with kids like that anymore, like at that age. But I do some teenagers. Bring me the teenagers.
I work with kids.
Yeah. I moved to another level where I don't have the time or energy. But teenagers, yeah, I can, because I'll cave their chest in and just call it a day. So if you have an unruly child and they need some construction in regards to building their psyche to where they're better people, send them my way. I am taking students at the moment. I do privates, and I also do classes of group self-defense as well. We had a lady today who took all my information down. She's interested in doing a rape prevention course.
That's beautiful.
So, yeah.
And I'll be teaching at a local school here, but I can also be convinced to come out and help out different community efforts. Just contact me on Instagram.
Absolutely.
More than welcome.
Absolutely. We here at Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking, we're very big on word and deed.
Correct.
Not just the word. So yeah, to have it on that note.
So before we close out, go ahead and check me out on Spotify. I just dropped a new song yesterday, Innocence. Beautiful song. Enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to close it out by reading off these social medias and doing the outro. So, for the third time this show, we can be found on Instagram at CMCT_show. Facebook, we can be found at CMCT Show. Our YouTube channel is CMCT_show. We also have a Twitter at CMCT_show. If you would like to send us emails containing nudes or
news?
Huh?
News.
Pictures of the news or whatever you decide to put in those pictures and send to us, you're going to need this email so that we can make suggestions to you or accept your suggestions. And that email is cmctshow@gmail.com. We also have a TikTok at CMCT_show. Linktree, where you can go and find all of our payment receiving applications.
Yeah, donations.
Please donate to the cause. We are offering a bunch of different services here at our complex, man, and we're getting everything off the ground so that we can start giving back to the community, the black community. You know what I'm saying?
We need it the most. Right
here where we are, so we're doing our best to get the infrastructure rolling here. So that link tree is CMCT_show.
Darkan
Choices.
2000. DARKAN 2000.
It's Twitter.
DARKANENT Twitter.
And I have two Instagrams. One is _MA. And my main Instagram would be _dosage. So, everybody, please have a good night.
Have a great weekend too, guys.
As well. And next week we'll be doing a bunch of different shit. Oh, we're doing the martial arts thing. And then Thursday, more pop culture.
Whatever craziness happens.
Or something. We'll talk about something.
Play that hit, man. Play that hit.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Eric. Indeed. All right, y'all. Alrighty. That should be it.
I believe it is. It's on point today, for sure. There we go.
Perfect. God damn it. Nope. I fucked it up. All right. Muscles on his lonely back. I stay calm and fat. I've been on the grind so long, hoes could never call me that. Please keep it short. I don't speak for all the rap. I'm your mechanic. I don't want the parts of whack. Keep throwing darts and wax. I'ma melt you. Every beat got a birthday. I just make it special. If you came to wrestle,
maybe we can do that. Chapman bring the doses and show you where your shoes at. Exactly where the proof at. I ain't gotta prove stats. I don't need the hookup.